I decided I wanted to finish a complete anime before I started the new season, and I just so happened to see this one. Why is it so good? But the only problem I have is that the main character is 10 and her male love interest is 19. Majority wise, she's actually 16 because this is a time loop anime. She starts off at 16, engaged to somebody else, the prince of her country, figures out that he's in love with his own sister, kissing up on her. She tries to tell everybody that. He's puts her up as a traitor, trying to poison the princess and makes her execution the next day. She says, yeah, bunk that, I'm about to run. And as she runs away, she gets killed by a sentient spear. Then time reverts back 6 years ago when she was 10 and she got first engaged to the prince, decides to get engaged to somebody else. Just so happens that it's the 19-year-old emperor of the opposite country that they hate and despise so much. And the reason he's all gun-ho for it, because for some reason he needs a wife that is 14 years of age or younger that can see the god of his country, which story-wise, when we finally get there, makes so much sense, but it's still why? The story is so good. The political drama is great, and it's not like a dialogue wall with all the ins and outs of how everything works. It gives me the backstory, the history of the two countries together with their mythology and their religions. Then it's giving me the political and using people as pawns. As we get to the Marquez, the first arc baddie is using his first daughter that he does not love as a political thrall to get her murdered so that the emperor looks like a bad guy and he can get him out of his hair. That was great, and then it just keeps on building on top of that. Like the sentient spear remembers killing our main character technically 6 years into the future and wonders why that she still remembers. Also, she takes over people's bodies that are over the age of 14 to get to the emperor, which makes sense why he needs a wife that's under the age of 14 so he won't have that sentient spear trying to kill him. Makes sense, but I also still hate it. I also like that the male lead's backstory of being a tyrant and crazy makes sense because he is perpetually cursed by this goddess and his own country's god to make the people in front of him in the succession die. 5 of his brothers are dead. His dad is dead, who used to be the emperor, and his mother killed herself because of him. No wonder his whole entire country hates his guts. Also, he's the only person that can see his country's god despite the dragons in their world. So everybody also thinks he's freaking insane because he talks to himself. Then you put on top of marrying a 10-year-old and kidnapping her from another country, even though consensually she wanted to get kidnapped. Yes, it's just that the main characters are 10 and 19. That's my problem. Because even our main girl, she's awesome. She's always been on the battlefield. In the first 2 episodes, she chucks a ship onto port, punches a cannonball out of the sky, and in a couple more episodes, she hand-fists a bullet and throws it back at somebody. That is great. Now, the animation of those things weren't the best, but oh my god, I'm so sad that this is the best political turmoil story that I've read, watched, and it has to deal with a 10-year-old and a 19-year-old falling in love. Ugh.